C.
What'll happen is once they get through all of the teams, the fastest teams, and they'll pick their lane 1. Then the next teams will pick their lanes, and they'll usually go in lane 3 just to avoid any sort of conflicts, pushers running into each other on the backside. And it looks like we already have Pioneers A,
4,
Chaos out on the
3,
course.
2,
and Fringe C.
1.
And the second heat of buggy is now off as Pioneers got to a great push off at the start, and they're running neck and neck up the first hill with Fringe C basket case. Both of them have dark buggies, and it's going to be a little bit closer of a race as both Fringe and Pioneers have pretty comparable hill 1 times as they get up to the top of the hill to make the transition. Again, I know there are a lot of people who want to take pictures. Be sure to stay off the course. In fact, try to stay a couple of feet back from the course. But both of them are about to make their push off. Looks like Pioneers is about a half a second ahead of Fringe, but they're coming around the corner neck and neck, and looks like Pioneers is going to make a bit of an early shove off, and then Fringe is going to make their shove off. So the buggies are only about 20 feet behind each other as they come around the corner of heading down into Shenley Park, past the first intersection with Circuit Road. And it looks like the 2 buggies are staying pretty neck and neck, about 20 feet back. But it looks like Pioneers A is rolling pretty well as it's gone a little bit faster and it's pulling out to a little bit bigger of a lead. The lead's moving to about 30 feet in this heat. Usually the heats aren't this close as they come around the corner and get to right around the stop sign at about a minute. And they're coming down towards the hill into the chute and coming down to the flagging area. They're just about neck and neck, so nobody's going to use the top of the hill flagger. And they're coming down towards the second flagging area, and it looks like both of their teams are going to be using their flaggers. The buggies are only about 10 feet behind each other, and it looks like Pioneers starts their turn much earlier than Fringe, and Fringe is going to try to pass. Very tight line. Fringe is taking a wide line as they're neck and neck in the chute. And wow, that was a tight chute. Looks like Fringe is rolling a little bit better than Pioneers and just going to come out just ahead of them as Fringe's C buggy is picked up at about 3, 4, 5 windows, and Pioneers buggy is picked up a little bit behind them. So Fringe threw a nice free roll, especially a very nice chute. Happened was Pioneers A buggy took a very tight line into the chute. Fringe preserved a lot more of their momentum as they took a wider line into the chute. And looks like Pioneers picked up a little bit of time on their transition, and you have to be careful whenever buggies are next to each other in transitions, as you have to make sure once you finish off your heat, you get out of the way, and that the other buggy doesn't run into you, as everyone does like to go up the middle of the course. Nice big line there. Looks like Pioneers, with their faster pushers, is pulled out to a bit more of a lead. It's only about 3 seconds, as Fringe has a lot of depth on their team this year. It looks like their C team is keeping up with a pretty historically strong A team. Pioneers is coming up to their transition to their Hill 5 pusher, and they make their final shove off, and Fringe makes their final shove off less than a second ahead. They're both neck and neck as they come up towards the alumni tent. For all you alumni on the course, be sure to stop by. You might see some friends, see some familiar names, and I think they have some donuts in there. But they're coming up towards the finish line. It looks like on the clock, they haven't reset the clock, so we don't know what the official time is going to be at the finish line. But there's some other folks with time as they come up to the line. I haven't been keeping track in the truck here, so I don't know for sure. But if we're running 8-minute heats, that was 13:44. That was, doing the math, you could probably figure that out. That was Pioneers that crossed the line, and then just behind them, Fringe finally crossed the line. So a close race, and looks like Fringe is displaying a lot of depth and quality of buggies right now, as it's a nice sleek green buggy for Fringe, and Pioneers has an old blue one. So let's send it back up to the top of the hill.